Every night, like clockwork, it happens. 3:07 a.m. My heart pounds in my chest, a frantic drum against the silence of my empty house. I know it's coming. I stare at the phone on my nightstand, that little black rectangle that has become the source of all my dread and all my hope. And then it rings. The screen lights up the dark room, and the name displayed makes my blood run cold every single time. My love, Sarah. Sarah has been gone for a year. A car accident on a rainy Tuesday. One moment she was on her way home from her sister's house, and the next, she was just gone. The world kept spinning, but mine had stopped dead. We had been married for 10 years. She was my everything. Her laugh, the way she'd hum while cooking, the scent of her lavender shampoo on the pillows. All gone. Or so I thought. The calls started 2 weeks ago. The first time it happened, I thought I was dreaming. I woke up to the buzzing, fumbled for the phone, and saw her name. My thumb hovered over the green icon, trembling. Was it a prank? A cruel, twisted joke? Or had I finally lost my mind, the grief pulling me under into a full-blown hallucination? I answered. "Hello?" I whispered, my voice cracking. Silence. Then, static. A faint, ethereal hiss, like wind blowing through an empty tunnel. And underneath it, just barely there, I heard something else. A whisper. It was her voice. Faint, distant, but unmistakably Sarah's. "Leo," she breathed, just my name. Then the line went dead. I didn't sleep for the rest of the night. The next day, I called the phone company. I called the police. They all gave me the same look, pity, tinged with concern. They explained it away. "Caller ID spoofing," one officer said gently. "Someone is playing a cruel trick on you, Mr. Henderson." But how could they spoof her number, the one tied to her phone, which was turned off and locked away in a drawer with her other belongings? It didn't make sense. And then it happened again. The next night, 3:07 a.m., the same static, the same whisper. "Leo, I'm cold." I started talking back, pleading. "Sarah? Sarah, is that you? Where are you? What's happening?" But my questions were only ever met with the same crackling static and a few whispered words before the call ended. Every night she gives me a new piece of a puzzle I can't comprehend. "The water," she whispered on the third night. "They didn't see." On the fourth. "So fast." On the fifth. I began to realize she wasn't just haunting me. She was trying to tell me something. Something about the accident. The police report was straightforward. A single-car accident. She'd skidded on a wet patch of road, hit a tree. It was a tragedy, but a simple one. Or so they said. Her words painted a different picture. They didn't see. Who is they? So fast. What was so fast? I started my own investigation. I became obsessed. During the day, I'd drive out to the crash site on Old Mill Road, a lonely stretch of asphalt cutting through dense woods. I walked the area a dozen times, looking for anything the police might have missed. I found nothing but broken glass still glittering in the undergrowth and a dark scar on the bark of an old oak tree. My nights were reserved for her. I'd sit by the phone, a notepad and pen in hand, waiting. I started recording the calls, listening to them over and over, trying to decipher the noises behind her voice. Last week, she said something that changed everything. "The bridge. Watch the bridge." There's a small, rickety wooden bridge about a half-mile before the crash site. I'd driven over it countless times. What was so important about the bridge? The next day I went back, but this time I didn't drive over it. I parked and got out, walking underneath it. The air was damp and smelled of moss and river mud. It was darker under there, the sunlight struggling to get through the thick planks above. And that's when I saw it. Tucked away in the shadows, almost completely obscured by overgrown vines, was a piece of metal. It was a fragment of a side mirror painted a deep metallic blue. It wasn't from Sarah's car. Hers was silver. My heart hammered against my ribs. I pulled out my phone and took a picture. This was it. This was something. That night at 3:07 a.m., Sarah called. Before she could speak, I did. "Sarah, I found it. I found the mirror under the bridge. Was there another car? Did someone run you off the road? For the first time, the static on the line seemed to recede. Her voice came through clearer than ever before. He didn't stop, she whispered, her voice filled with a profound sadness. Blue truck. He just kept going. A blue truck. They didn't see. He didn't see her, or he didn't care. I spent the next 2 days like a madman, calling every auto body shop within a 50-mile radius, asking about recent repairs on a blue truck with front-end damage. It was a long shot, but it was all I had. Most shops hung up on me. But then on my 32nd call, a mechanic in a town over paused. Yeah, he grumbled. Had a guy in here last week, blue Ford F-150. Claimed he hit a deer on Old Mill Road. Said it ran off. Paid in cash. Wanted it done quick and quiet. Seemed jittery. He gave me a name, Frank Miller, a local contractor who lived just a few miles from the crash site. I took the name and the photo of the mirror fragment to the police. I played them the recordings of Sarah's calls. I could see the skepticism on the lead detective's face melt away, replaced by a dawning sense of disbelief, then resolve. The piece of mirror was a perfect match for a Ford F-150 of the model year Frank Miller drove. They brought him in for questioning. Faced with the evidence, the mechanic's testimony, and the undeniable fact that we knew about the damage he'd tried to hide, Frank Miller confessed. He'd been texting and driving. He swerved into Sarah's lane, forcing her off the road. He saw her car hit the tree in his rearview mirror, but he panicked. He was on probation, and he knew a fatal accident would send him back to prison for a long, long time, so he just kept going. Last night I sat by my phone, but the dread was gone. It was replaced by a heavy, quiet peace. 3:07 a.m. came and went. The phone remained dark. The silence in the house was no longer threatening. It was just silent. I waited until 3:08, then 3:09. She didn't call. She didn't need to anymore. Her work was done. Justice had been served as much as it could be. I still miss her more than words can say. The hole in my life is still there, a crater that will never fully be filled. But the gnawing mystery, the what if, has been put to rest. She reached out from wherever she is, not to haunt me, but to help me, to give us both peace. I picked up the phone, my thumb scrolling through my contacts until I found her name. My love, Sarah. I looked at it for a long moment, a sad smile touching my lips. Then, with a deep breath, I deleted the contact. The calls were for a purpose, and that purpose was fulfilled. Now, all I have left are the memories, and for the first time in a year, that feels like it might just be enough.